So I was curious. The 50-car train derailment in Palestine, Ohio, in which 10 of those train cars had vinyl chloride, which the regulatory bodies decided to burn. A byproduct of the vinyl chloride is hydrogen chloride. It's unstable, and so it loves water, which turns into hydrochloric acid. And when it rains, you have acid rain. So besides polluting the waters um, via ground, via air, you're polluting a much wider area. So I was curious to see, well, who owned this um, train that derailed. And I found out it was uh, Norfolk Southern Corporation, which is a public company. And so I just wanted to see what it looked like on the charts. And you have on the monthly chart, you have a pivot high, pivot high, pivot lows, pivot lows. So you would say that this is the $200 area is an area that price is attracted to. Now in the monthly candle, you see that it's red, this candle here, and that could be the result of the news out of Palestine, Ohio. So let's go to the weekly chart. Again, the weekly chart is red. Again, makes sense, right? There's going to be massive lawsuits. So potentially, if and when price gets back to this $200 level, prices are going to go a lot higher, or a lot lower, excuse me. Potentially, there are some buyers, however, at the 185 level. Now, who are the biggest shareholders of Norfolk Southern Corporation? Well, I found out it was the Vanguard Group, which is the big mutual fund conglomerate. You also have BlackRock, JP Morgan, and State Street Corporation. So let's look at BlackRock. Now, BlackRock is the biggest mutual fund creator in the world, asset manager in the world. Assets under management are in the trillions of dollars. And so if you open up the monthly chart, you could also see a decline. There might be some buyers at the 640 level, so I'm just going to code that right now with red. The decline could also have been as a result of this area of resistance. We'll say at 275, 775. go to the weekly chart. No, nothing really here. Let me go down to the daily chart. Okay. So this area here, you can say price has been range bound. We'll do yellow. Price is at the bottom of that range. And so if price breaches the range, it might be setting up for a bear trap. This area at 680 might be a level of interest where buyers might step in. I want to look at that 660 level a little bit on the 4-hour chart, see what it looks like. No, nothing of interest, with the exception of price did break this pivot high. But I think the better area is going back to the daily chart. Not in love with the level, but nevertheless, you might have daily buyers at the 680 level. And again, this could be also considered a bear trap where price declines, buyers are waiting, only push price back up. Now the other big shareholder of Northern Southern, I found out, was State Street. I believe they are a public company. Yep, State Street Corp. We'll go to the monthly chart. Now potentially this is a level of interest for buyers only if price would break these pivot highs. Potentially might get a pullback to go long. Otherwise, the chart suggests to play the extremes. So I'll just mark off, we'll say 104, and we'll say 60. Okay, let's go down to the weekly chart. So right now, State Street is in a uptrend. Now, out of the 3 biggest shareholders, State Street is the only one that's increasing in price. BlackRock was declining. JP Morgan was somewhat declining, but it was range bound. State Street is rising. So as long as it respects this upward trend line, price at 92 could move to the $100 level, which is a round hold psychological level. Now, not only is this a environmentally humanitarian disaster, it's also going to be a disaster for the poor. See, these public companies are going to be alright longer term. They'll pay a fine and then move on with their lives. However, the people in Palestine and the surrounding area are going to be affected for the rest of their lives, and potentially even their kids. So this was a sensitive analysis, but an analysis that I wanted to dig into because I wanted to know who owned the train. So, any comments, please write them in the thread. Until next time.